been to the 60s diner in Oranienburger Strasse? Do you know what I'm talking about? This place has this thing called a beer tower. It is 4 liters of beer in this giant glass tower, right? It takes 2 people to bring it to your table. And yeah, what I want to do is I want to order 4 of them and put them on the corners of the table, and then put beers in between the towers to make a beer castle. And it's really special because if you drink the entire beer castle, you die. This is weird. A German person using Twitter. That's just wrong, okay? Twitter is not for the German language, right? Because the whole point of Twitter is to capture an entire thought in 140 characters, right? German words are way too fucking long for a tweet. By the time you finish writing the subject of your sentence, the tweet is done. Sometimes I think the German language was invented by bored printmakers. Like, they invented the language, right? And they're like, well, we got all these extra letters lying around. I don't know. We got a G and an S and a C and an H and an L and a V and a K and an R. I know! I'll invent the German word for sex. Geschlechtsverkehr. Which literally means gender traffic. Which to an English speaker sounds like a highway where half of the cars are blue and half of the cars are pink. And there's a couple gray ones, and those are the transgender cars, you know. My first hip-hop album was Licensed to Ill by the Beastie Boys, and I used to listen to it in my house all alone when my parents were away, right? Licensed to Ill has this song called Paul Revere. Anyone know this song?
Yes.
Yeah. In Paul Revere, there's a line that goes, the guy's talking about having sex with the sheriff's daughter, and he says, I did it like this, I did it like that, I did it with a wiffle ball bat. So, when he said so, I realized my mom was standing right behind me. She ejects the tape, breaks it in half, sets it on fire, buries it in the backyard, and then moved our family 2 towns to the west. Yes, this happened. So I had to be very sneaky with my hip-hop. And when you do something very sneaky in the American suburbs, you have to do it in the woods. And the woods, den Wald. I speak German. Der, die, das, Wald, yeah? Okay. Der, die, das, Wald. We had to do it in the woods, right? My friends, they went to the woods to look at porn. They had like this old Playboy they stuck into a tree, you know? And they go in there and they pull it out like, ooh, Miss June. And she'd be covered in like, you know, like fucking like bird shit and dirt and slugs and old dead rats and stuff, and they'd be like, ooh, sexy. But me, I loved hip-hop so much that I would go in the woods to look at pictures of rappers. Oh, Ice-T, Dr. Dre. Nothing gay about that. And I was also a graffiti artist. Where are the graffiti artists here? Give me a. Where are they? There's not graffiti artists here. Give me a break. I've actually performed comedy like all over Germany, like in the countryside and stuff in English, which is really weird that an American would move to Germany to do English comedy in the countryside. But if you think about it, there are German people who move to the countryside in America to do German comedy. They're called Amish people. I love this Berlin face. Do you know the Berlin face? Like the people that lived in Berlin a little too long. You know, it's that gray face and kind of like the cement cheeks. You know, like the kind of face you can only get from smoking cigarettes all day and having to say words with umlauts in them. You know, that's where this Berlin face comes from. And that's why Americans smile all the time, because we can't say umlauts. You know. Hey, it's really schwul here today, isn't it? Oh, it's very schwul. What's with all the rainbows? Hey! Alright, so I was a graffiti artist, right? And every graffiti artist has to have a tag name. I thought you just had to write the word tag on everything. So I'll go around my neighborhood just writing tag, tag, tag. But then some asshole from my high school put a little line on the T so it said fag, fag, fag. Because that's what teenagers in America are like. Assholes. Alright, so. The Catholic Church, or as I call it, the pedophile opera. What a place. It's not a new joke, everyone knows. Yeah. Now my dad was very Catholic. He went to church every day when he was a little boy. And listen, I know what you're thinking. And no, the priest did not touch him. He touched himself and they watched. It was a much more innocent time. That's right. Yeah. My mother, also very Catholic, and when you're Catholic, you have to repress everyone's sexuality, right? And the way she would suppress our sexuality was we would watch movies together as a family. You know, me, my mom, my dad, my 3 brothers, my grandpa, the new cat, the ghost of the old cat we killed to get the new cat, everybody. Watching a movie together, and then a sex scene would come on. My mother would pause the tape and then turn to me and my brother and say, "Now, do you think what they're doing is appropriate? Shouldn't they be married first before they have sex?" And I always have to say something like, "Mom, it's a rape scene." Yes. This is the same woman who on Christmas last year asked me to describe to her how gay men have sex. And I described it to her, and I described it to her, and she says, "And they like this? They find this enjoyable?" I said, "Mom, do you want me to explain to you why people enjoy anal sex?" And my father said, "Don't bother. I've been trying to do that for years."